Hey, today on the Daily Review with Joe LaRocca, we're going to talk about a Brian De Palma movie called Sisters. Sister. Sister. It's not sister three times, it's just once, but it's like when the Emperor says sister, he goes, sister. He's Hispanic. I don't know if you ever see that. He's not. Okay. Hey. Yeah, this is a Brian De Palma movie. He's like if Alfred Hitchcock didn't get enough sleep. That's how I describe him. He's totally from that school, baby. I'm gonna adjust this. There we go. Yeah, he's from that school of suspense and cinematic storytelling where you let everything piece together and you let the audience connect a lot of the dots, and it's full of, that's how you keep the audience engaged, is you make them a part of the story, so they're like the detective figuring it out, like, and piecing everything together. And we learned early on in cinema that was a good way of making your audience, in the same way a book, like, you're always a part of a book because you have to physically read it, but sometimes a movie can just wash over you in a good way and in a bad way. And so sometimes there are types of stories where you want the audience to really feel involved and a part of the action. And I think, Hitchcock's probably one of the best at that. And he helped excuse me, define a lot of the language that we use, cinematic language we use in look at Odie's fucking going nuts back there. A lot of the cinematic language we use in suspense, which and yeah, I remember seeing, oh wow, I wish I had that right in front of me. Maybe I can look it up quick enough, but I saw this really great little diagram once of like what the difference was between let me see if it's here. Nah, it might, maybe it's on my phone. Like the difference between suspense and mystery and what else? Anyway, while I'm looking for that, here it is. Yeah, okay. So here we go. For 3 different genres, for crime, horror, and for suspense. The question in the crime is who did this and why. In a horror, it's how and when will the character die. And in the question in suspense is, will the character live or die? And so the secret is, in crime genre, we know none of the secrets until later. So you're watching a movie, you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then in a horror movie, we know all the secrets. We know Freddy's behind the door or whatever. And then in suspense, we know half of the secrets and the character knows none. So we're just kind of a little bit in there. So I think, suspense is very much this Hitchcock thing where we have some of it, but not all of it, and we're piecing it together. And Psycho is a perfect example of that, of playing with expectations and stuff like that. So this young Brian De Palma, who's all hanging out with all the cool boys, he was one of the older ones in that group of Spielberg and Lucas and whatever, all those people making movies out in California around this time in the early 70s, late 60s. And this one's all right. Bye. No, it is a little bit like that. I think if I saw it at the time, my mind would have been pretty blown because it's pretty nutty and shocking. But nowadays you watch it and it seems fairly tame. The story is about Margot Kidder, who is one half of a conjoined twin pair that has been separated. Then Jennifer Salt, a different lady living next door, believes she sees a man being murdered in her apartment, and she's a journalist, goes to investigate. The cops have no interest. They check it out. It seems fine. They can't find any issue or whatever. Even though earlier in the evening, the two characters were on a television show together, which is like a major plot flaw. It's like, well, she'd be implicated in the case just because she was with him that night. And they were seen together, you know? Anyway, whatever. That's not the big deal. So we see somebody kill the boyfriend. So that's a black man comes over with Margot Kidder, and either her or her twin kills this nice young man in a pretty gruesome way. Cuts him like in the femoral artery a couple times, and then in the mouth with a knife. It's like, So I was like, whoa, Jesus, pretty gruesome. You know, very just like Hitchcock. Like everything's kind of, and then big spikes of music and craziness, and then calms it back down. You know, it's got Bernard Herrmann's score too, so he worked with Hitchcock a lot and has maybe the best cinematic murder scores ever created. Yeah, the police don't want to help her because she's a reporter who's like slandered the police, and it's because it's a race issue. They don't seem to care because it's a black dude. So they, she gets with the help of a private eye, she starts to investigate and figure out some stuff about because instantly you're like, all right, either they aren't conjoined twins, or one of them's dead, or one of them's both of them. You know, it's like very obvious that one permutation of that is what the story is going to be, because obviously it's a murder mystery movie about, and we've never seen these two characters like in the same room together. So you're like, And then once you realize that there were genuinely two of them, they were conjoined twins, then it's like, which one is the murderer? Is it Dominique or Danielle? So yeah, there's some interesting stuff in there. There's some weak script stuff where you're just like, like one of the clues is that they get a cake from a cake shop, and then Jennifer Saul just happens to be driving by the same cake shop and is like, did you make a cake? It's like, you're in a fucking city. You're in Staten Island. You're not just gonna like, it's not like go down to the cake shop. You know what I mean? So little problematic stuff there, but it's super, super low budget. It was made for like $500,000. It works. It's a fucking Criterion movie. There's a lot of like psychological things going on within the movie, and very interesting editing near the end. Although I think it looks, to me, it all looks kind of silly now. It doesn't look like nearly as revolutionary as it probably was, because there's some really kind of interesting like jump backs in time, going into black and white photography, and really interesting pull out shots that you think you see everything, and then it pulls out even more, and you get kind of the bigger picture. You're like, that's good. That's some good shit. You can just see where Brian De Palma's building up for Blowout, which is like, I would consider his masterpiece, although I haven't seen all of his movies. Yeah, this just could have been like, this should have been a Cronenberg movie, and it would have been better. Or straight up a Hitchcock movie, and you hide everything, and it's all like whispers, Overall, I did enjoy it. It's fast, it's quick. It is like a B movie, It's like a suspense, like Friday night drive-in, whatever you call it, movie. And the thing that Brian De Palma does, what you can learn from a Brian De Palma movie, even if you don't like the story or some of the acting is shit or whatever, is that he mixes like such 4 really popular elements into his movies, and they don't tend to supersede one another. They kind of all work together, and they're sexy usually. There's sexiness to them. There's humor. Even in these murder movies, and the same thing, both Hitchcock did both of these things. There's murder, so you have like this big exciting thing, and then there's the suspense. So you have suspense, humor, sexuality and murder, and all of those things, like they beat nicely together. They all are like spices that work well together, and because you can use the suspense and the murder to play off of the comedy and the sexiness or whatever. So it's pretty cool. Sometimes he goes like, further in the sexiness, and sometimes he goes, but I don't know. Overall, It's pretty interesting. I think my favorite stuff in this movie is the split screen stuff that they do, and I'm kind of surprised they don't do it more because thematically it works really well. They do this thing where they just show two. I'm like, wow, way more movies need to have that. And that's right. I gotta watch the. There's this version of Napoleon that was made in like 1927, and I've never seen it, but I remember reading about it and knowing that they like connected three projectors. Like you would have three projectors at the same time projecting on like a super long screen, and they would kind of connect, make like a panoramic. But then when I was watching a trailer for it, they were doing stuff where they were showing like different things on the screens, which is so original. And this reminded me of that. I think I already actually talked about this, but that like made me go, oh yeah, why don't people do that? That's like rare. I know it can be distracting, but I think there's like I don't know, there's way more to be played with in the field of showing multiple images to an audience at once and making like big leaps, you know? I mean, I'm sure there's been a movie that's like plays one way, like you see two screens and it's playing one way and the other way, and then the midpoint, and then they go back the other way. But I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting just to do like I always wanted to do the story of Sully Sullenberg, which is not a very interesting story, but then parallel it with the bird. Have the whole story, like the climax would be the bird dying, and it would just be the whole life of the bird and Sully's whole day for like a few weeks before until they converge. It's called Sully Sullenberg, airport pilot. Okay. I got an interesting thing on Instagram. I obviously don't get any backlash because I don't get enough people yelling at me. Not enough people watch for them to be angry. But somebody wrote, let me get it verbatim on Instagram. Posted the cuties, and it just the comment I got is oh, did she take it away? No, she just said, weird you're spelled YOUR posting this ... Weird you're posting this. And so then I clicked on the person, and she's literally a prostitute. I'm not making fun of her. She has a menu for prices. Strip naked videos, $7. Short videos, $14. $10 premium DM me. Videos incoming. Titty videos. Twerking videos. Okay. And then there's a bunch of pictures of her like with her ass hanging out. And I said, not really. You're the one with your ass out. But isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? It's like I think that might be dramatic irony. I can't remember. But God, the world makes me want to fucking vomit. Okay. Yeah, also because of me. Maybe we can play some nice music. Oh, did I leave this on all night? Joe. Oh, no, I didn't. I was going to say that would be a silly boy move of me. All right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to do that, but sure. I have to go shift mode 7, guys, if we want to do anything fun. Let's do 62 and see what that is all about. All right. I guess I'll put on music-y mode. Hey, where's that camera? Where's your camera at? We'll go back here for a second. Let's see our camera. And then go to music set. What? Oh, good. Nothing's working today. I'm happy. Oh, look, it's frozen. Yay. Oh, fuck a dog. Who cares? Ugh. It'll be a quick one today.